Gucci also has a history of controversies and murder. Yikes. That is so not Gucci. Watch and learn all this and more in the history of Gucci. Abridged. Did you know Gucci broke the Guinness World Record for the most expensive jeans sold in 1998? Gucci has come from Florence around 1410. Guccio Giovacci left Florence for Paris and then he settled in London in 1897 to work in the higher-end Savoy Hotel. And while working as a bellhop there, he would unload and load luggage of the hotel's wealthy clientele and learn about their taste for fashion. And then afterwards, he worked 4 years at the Compagnie des Wagons Lits, and that gave him the experience with luxurious traveling lifestyles of the rich. In 1921, Guccio Gucci, the OG Gucci, you could say, bought his own shop on 7 Via della Vigna Nuova in Florence, where he sold imported leather luggage. He also opened a small workshop to have his own leather goods made by local craftsmen, where eventually a larger workshop had to be acquired. In 1935, the invasion of Ethiopia by Mussolini led to the League of Nations to impose a trade embargo on Italy, pushing Guccio Gucci to introduce other fabrics into the composition of the products, such as raffia, wicker, wood, linen, and jute. The rhombi motif, which was Gucci's signature, was then created. And then Gucci developed a new tanning technique. In 1937, Gucci launched its handbags. Gucci's wife and children worked in the shop along with his son, Aldo Gucci. He became increasingly involved in the family company since he started working there in 1925. He convinced his father to grow by opening a new shop in Rome, 21 Via Condotti, in 1938, and launched more Gucci accessories, gloves, belts, wallets, and keychains. During World War II, the artisans of Gucci worked on making boots for the Italian infantry. The company made handbags of cotton canvas rather than leather. The canvas, however, was distinguished by the signature double GG symbol, combined with recognizable red and green bands. And then after the war, the Gucci crest, which showed a shield surrounded by a ribbon, became synonymous with the city of Florence. With the coming of Gucci's sons Aldo, Vasco, and Rodolfo, shameless plug, subscribe so you don't miss our next video, an analysis on the House of Gucci. In 1947, Gucci launched the bamboo bag. The brand launched its first global tagline, "Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten." The iconic Gucci loafer was then launched in 1952. Unfortunately though, Guccio Gucci died on the 2nd of January in 1953 in Milan. So at least he made it to the new year. In November 1953, Gucci opened its first US store on 5th Avenue and 58th Street in New York, leading the locals to call this New York area Gucci City. In 1961, Gucci opened a store in London and Palm Beach and launched the Jackie bag, and the Jackie bag was actually carried by Jackie Kennedy. In 1963, Gucci opened its first French store near Place Vendôme. The double G logo for belt buckles and other accessory decorations was introduced in 1964. The Flora scarf was designed in 1966 by Rodolfo Gucci and Vittorio Econero for Grace Kelly. In 1968, Gucci opened a store in 347 Rodeo Drive, which would then lead a lot of Hollywood stars to come and buy from the brand. Gucci's breakthrough in the US led to its global development in Asia, Tokyo, Hong Kong, then the Middle East. 84,000 Gucci moccasins were sold in the US alone. Gucci launched a Rolls-Royce luggage set in 1970 and partnered with American Motors Corporation to create the Gucci version of the AMC Hornet car. Gucci became one of the first American cars to offer a special luxury trim package and opened the Gucci Galleria in its Beverly Hills store in 1977. To premium clients were given a golden key to access it. So during the 1970s, the explosive popularity of Gucci turned the brand into a prime target of the counterfeiting industry. The Gucci workshops elaborated the brindle pigskin tanning technique that became a Gucci signature, and the tanning process itself was actually very difficult to counterfeit. In 1977 alone, Gucci launched 34 lawsuits for counterfeiting. Yet by the mid-1980s, the brand was involved in thousands of confiscations and lawsuits all over the world. In 2015, Gucci's parent company, Kering, sued the Chinese website Alibaba for listing a lot of obviously fake Gucci products. I get it. I understand why Gucci would do so, take down everything, because it damages a brand's reputation. In the House of Gucci movie, Patrizia Reggiani was extremely mad about the counterfeiting when she discovered her housekeeper was buying fake Gucci, yet Aldo and Maurizio were very nonchalant. If you knew Aldo Gucci himself, he was actually paranoid, even going as far as to buy up all the fake stuff so that it wouldn't circulate. Often fake luxury funds drug trafficking, sex trafficking, gangs, and more crime. Don't do drugs, kids, and don't do fake Gucci. Up until the end of the Gucci family era, from when Maurizio finally sold his majority 50% share to Investcorp, the design, the production, and the promotion of Gucci products were all handled by the members of the Gucci family. Dawn Mello, as Gucci's vice president executive and chief designer, she reduced the amount of stores from 1,000 to 180 in an effort to rebuild the brand's exclusivity, because at that point, a lot of their licenses were in like small knickknacks and items. She also reduced the amount of items sold by Gucci from 22,000 to 7,000. She also brought back the bamboo bag and the Gucci loafer. She also moved Gucci's headquarters back from Milan to Florence. Dawn Mello then hired Tommy Ford. Then in 1994, Tom Ford was named the creative director of Gucci. Gucci, under his reign, launched a provocative products such as silver handcuffs, a G-string. You can't just call it a G-string. You gotta call it a GG string. And the provocative ad campaigns such as the G logo, shaved on pubic hair. Yeah, you heard that right. Pubic hair. If you know Tom Ford, you know that's who he is. He has sex appeal. I mean, just look at him. In 1995, 2 years after Maurizio sold off his shares, the company was publicly indexed on the New York Stock Exchange. In January 1999, LVMH had started buying shares of Gucci since 1995. Then he eventually reached a 34% ownership in Gucci Group. Tom Ford and Dimension de Sol turned to Francois Pinault and his group Pinault Printemps Redoute (PRR) to keep him from buying it. I talk about this relationship very in depth in my Luxury Globalization Part 1 and Part 2 video, which I'll link in the description. In March, Pinault's group bought 40% of Gucci at $75 a share, and LVMH's shares decreased to 20.7% in a dilution process. The feud around Gucci ended in September 2001 when all parties reached an agreement. Marco Bizzarri then appointed Alessandro Michele to be creative director of Gucci. Alessandro produced a different Gucci foot with a sophisticated, intellectual, and androgynous feel. Alessandro Michele then revived Gucci classics such as the double G logo, the Jackie O bag, and created iconic products such as Dionysus handbag. With this came a line of feminized menswear and a strong feminist stance with a, quote, geek chic style. You may have heard the term Gucci be used in replacement of the word good to describe something that feels luxury. One of the first known instances of this word being used as such has been found in September 1999 in the issue of Harper's Bazaar, in which the singer Lenny Kravitz describes his bedroom as very Gucci. Gucci has broken quite a few world records, where in 1974, the Model 2000 Gucci watch broke the record for selling more than 1 million units in 2 years. Yet in 1998, the Gucci Genius jeans, quote, broke the record for the most expensive pairs of jeans ever. These jeans were distressed, ripped, and covered with African beads. In April 2016, the UK's Advertising Standards Authority banned a Gucci online video because it starred an unhealthily thin model. In February 2019, Gucci removed the black balaclava sweater with the roll-up cutout red-lipped mouth because it was compared to a blackface costume. You can be the judge of what you think of that, but I think it was just Gucci being silly. Alessandro Michel pointed out that his inspiration came from the flamboyant Le Bowery, but apologized for the way it had been interpreted. To address this issue, Gucci launched the Gucci North America Changemaker Scholarship with a $5 million annual fund to support nonprofits and community-based programs. In May 2019, the Sikhs community in India criticized Gucci's cultural appropriation of a religious item when the Italian brand commercialized turbans at $800 a piece. In July 2019, Gucci appointed a global head of diversity to address the brand's latest issues with cultural diversity. Then in October 2019, Gucci launched a $1.5 million scholarship program for US students traditionally underrepresented in the fashion industry. In a 2019 September show that resembled a defile of mental patients, catwalk model Ayesha Tan Jones held up their hands on which it said, "Mental health is not fashion," was written, which was a reaction to the brand's inappropriate commercial use of the imagery mental illness. Was all Gucci with this video? Thank you so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, go to my Patreon, linked in the description bar as well as Shop My Closet. And if you love couture, style, and analysis, aka CSA, please go down and subscribe so you get your weekly CSA PSA Hot of the Press weekly. I make videos like this weekly on fashion and luxury related videos with some spicing of history, such as this. Check these videos out next, where I unbox my Gucci unboxing from what I got for Christmas, as well as another history video of Bottega Veneta. I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!